Welcome back, my fellow content creation cohorts. We're going right back from where we left off last episode, and today we're going over packaged products again, but we're going over kind of the niche products that I offer. The things that allow me to work with clients that aren't looking for the traditional MLS or the high-end MLS images. These are clients that I wouldn't traditionally be able to access without these packages, so let's jump right in. Thanks for joining us again. As I mentioned on the top, we're going right into packages and products that are kind of like my niche packages that allow me to bring in extra work that most people don't really think about. And the very first one I'm going to offer or talk about, should I say, is going to be my vacant lot package. This allows me to work with those agents that specialize in dealing just lots. Now, they're far and few between, but what's great about this is it allows me to use my 107 and my drone that I already have with me every day anyway to pick up a little extra cash in the field. Granted, these shoots are not as expensive as my traditional MLS, but once again, as I just mentioned, I pretty much only use the drone for them. So it's easy for me. They're pretty reliable because agents that sell vacant lots tend to sell a lot of them because that's what they specialize in. So if you find that one agent and you two just mesh together, it can be a great little side addition to what you already do. Now, in addition to that, as I just brought up the drone, I'll talk about my most popular add-on. Now, last time we talked about our MLS, traditional style, and high-end imagery. Now, I have add-ons that go in with that, and my most popular one is an aerial add-on. Most agents aren't looking for a ridiculous amount of aerial images, they just want a few. So because of this, I have an add-on. If you order either of my main packages, you can add on exactly 3 aerial images. And that is precisely what most agents are looking for. Just something to kind of stand out, but they don't want to spend the full package of a full aerial video and or photo shoot. So this is a perfect little add-on that allows me to spend an extra 15 minutes on site and make a little extra money at a property I already am at and shooting. Add-ons are really the best option you have because you don't have to do extra marketing to find the clients. The clients are already ordering your services, and it brings that bill up a little bit. If you've ever been in the service industry, then you know it's kind of like selling the filet over the sirloin. It's like an upcharge, if you will, a little extra. But this one pretty much sells itself in most neighborhoods. So as I continue on, just keep in mind that having your 107 will definitely help you in this industry. It will set you apart because you're a photographer with a 107. There are lots of drone pilots out there that can fly around and take photos, but most of them cannot edit photos. So if you have the ability to edit photos and fly a drone, you already have a notch up on most of the people in your area. Moving on from those two topics, let's go right into what is potentially my next popular. But either way, it's commercial lease properties. Now, everyone knows about commercial properties for sale, but not many people think about commercial leasing properties, commercial properties for rent. These places usually rent for a long period of time, so they're looking for a client that's renting for a long time. They don't mind spending a little extra on the images that they showcase because they really want to lease out the space. Commercial properties usually lease out higher than residential areas. I have personally never had very much luck on the residential leasing photography market, but the commercial leasing photography market is there, and it is a source that most photographers don't think about. So if you seem to be having traction issues going after residential clients, maybe you're new to the industry, you can always reach out to commercial leasing clients. You can do these shoots for a little bit more than the traditional MLS photos or the high-end images since they're for a commercial purpose, and commercial people usually have no issues paying this extra service price. Now, you can also go after commercial sellers, but they're a little harder to get in the door of without an established portfolio or at least knowing someone in the building. A residential real estate company, you can just walk in the front door and talk to someone, have a conversation. And if you have enough charisma or charm, or if your personality is good enough, 9 times out of 10, you can walk out with at least an appointment date, if not an actual photo shoot. But commercial real estate agents seem to be a tougher crowd to break into. Maybe it's just my area, but either way, that should not stop you from going after them. But more importantly, go after the leasing agents because, as I mentioned just a moment ago, almost no one is thinking about those in our industry. All right, so we've talked about going after vacant lot agents, and we've talked about how important it is to have your 107 so that way you can have that aerial addition when you're going after those vacant lot agents, and you have it as an add on to your traditional services as an upsell to your already standing clients. After that, we talked about our commercial leasing agents and how rare it is that photographers go after those, but they are a very good market, and when you get one, they stay with you. So, lastly, I want to talk about going after these apartment lease rent companies. I'm sure in your area there is some sort of mega structure that rents out units by the year. And those are the places you can tackle next because they usually have their own in house company. They're not really an agency so much as they are kind of like a rental company. But a lot of these places update their images for a few units at least once a year, and some of them actually will photograph every unit when it comes up for lease because they want people to know exactly what they're getting with that unit. Now, this is traditionally a space that most photographers forget about advertising because it's not an actual agency, so they don't even see it in their Google search. So this can definitely be an in for you. It might just be a once a year kind of client, or it might be a once a week kind of client. You never really know. And if you want to take it to the extreme, you can not just go after condo places or big high rises with lease options in your town. You can also go after high end senior citizens housing market because these places fluctuate their owners and the people that reside in them often. I don't want to say some of my biggest clients, but some of my biggest niche clients have definitely been from a senior citizens housing market. They had a stage of units, and the way it worked is around the perimeter were all like actual small houses. And then inside from that were like townhouses, and inside from that was like a big mega structure. And the elderly that could take care of themselves stayed in the houses around the outside. And as they got progressively worse as their age got on, they moved into the townhouses and then finally into the main unit. So what that means is that there was lots of fluctuation throughout the spaces, and they would always need these spaces photographed. I was photographing over there at least once a week. Now they've kind of changed up their business model and they hired an in-house photographer because they've realized how much they were paying me, I guess. But either way, I don't have this client anymore, which I'm kind of sad about. But I definitely understand why they hired an in-house team because they were going through so many units. But that being said, it is a definite market you should try and tackle in your area because other photographers aren't thinking about these things. Most photographers are going after what they think are the easiest clients, and they're really the hardest clients. All new photographers are going after the same big agents in their area. They're really missing out when they're not going after these small agencies, these boutique agencies, these small one off agent client brokers, or these other buildings and options that I just told you about. We've got vacant lot specialists that most photographers don't think about. We've got commercial lease properties that most photographers don't think about. We have interior leasing properties of high rises, and we have senior citizen lease projects. These are all things that you can tackle and go after. You will probably have more success because there'll be less people attacking them, trying to demand their attention for work. Well, that's it. Another session. Episode? I don't know, is it a psychiatrist session? I really just kind of sit here and stare at my camera and talk to it for an hour and kind of pick out stuff based from that. So I hope it was useful. I hope you enjoyed everything I talked about. If you liked what I said and how I said it, press the like button, mash that subscribe button. I really need those guys coming in. And I will be back next week with another episode on something real estate related. Keep shooting, keep staying fluid, and remember, think outside the box when it comes to finding your next clients. And make sure you have the packages and products that they're looking for. Thanks again. See you next time.